Hello, everybody. Welcome to Profiling Evil Live. I'm Mike, got Skyeler here. We're so excited to be able to be live with you tonight. Sorry we missed you a couple weeks ago. I was in San Diego, I think, at meetings then, Skyeler, and the bandwidth was just terrible.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a bummer to not be able to hang out. Sorry, I was just reading some of the comments from people already here, some names I don't recognize, but that's always fun.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks, everybody, for being here. And please start firing your questions away because we're going to move quickly tonight. We got a lot to cover just talking to you. And there's been so much been happening in the news, in criminal cases. And I want to use this chance to just let you ask any questions that you might have about things that are going on. And I will remind you that tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific time, I'll be on Court TV again, and I think we're going to be talking about, well, I can't tell you what we're talking about. They won't let me do that, but they will let me tell you I'm going to be on in a couple of hours. So,
Well, yeah. So I guess the agenda for tonight is an Ask Mike Anything, Ask Profiling Evil Anything. And what that is just ask questions, whatever you want to talk about, whatever you guys want to ask. And oh yeah, let's get right into this, Mike. Why don't you talk about your academy real quick?
Hey, Jerry, thanks for putting that question up there. We are so excited about the new Profiling Evil Academy. Folks, you can look at our memberships and look at the channel memberships under join, I believe it is. But anyway, the button's there somewhere. And we've got only 2 classifications. We pared it down. We cut the pricing to make it a lot more affordable for folks. We have for a supporter, $1.99 a month, and that gets you all kinds of new benefits that you wouldn't get otherwise. Plus, it shows us that you're supporting the channel and helping out. But the thing that we're really excited about is the Profiling Evil Academy that launches next week. It'll be the first week. We're going to be covering a number of topics, one each week. To give you an idea, week 1, we're going to be talking about what is criminal profiling. I kind of talk about the profiling process a lot on here. What's profiling? Second one we're going to talk about is this idea of fantasy versus reality and the process that these predators go through as they fantasize about things, and it becomes so compelling that they then have to act it out. And we see this over and over again with ritualistic and serial crimes. Yeah. Then we're going to talk about nature versus nurture, and that one always gets people, Skyeler. I mean, it boils down to, do I commit crime because I didn't get warm cookies and milk when I came home from school, or do I commit crime because I have a bad streak inside of me? So we're going to talk about nature versus nurture. We're going to talk a little bit about Floyd.
Well, time out. I want to make sure we shout out Brent Montgomery for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Brent.
Thank you. And Brent, thanks for keeping us up to date on all of the work you're doing behind the scenes. That's really awesome, and we really appreciate it. Hey, we'll come back to more on the Profiling Evil Academy in a bit, but I want to read if there's any comments in there about some of those topics and if they look interesting to you. In addition to covering these topics, we're going to put in the links below in the description section each week information where you can go and learn a little bit more about that topic. And then periodically, we're going to throw a live together for just members of the Academy to ask questions and talk about. So, Jamie Girl, thank you. I mean, these criminal topics, what we hope is going to happen is that it's going to equip you with concepts that you can apply as you read cases online and other places. So.
Yeah. We where's the razor? It's a work in progress. It was shaved down to nothing about a week and a half ago. So I'm trying to get it back to where it's in its full beautiful state.
Counselor Eva, thank you for calling him on that. It's hard to do that in my position.
I have more hair right here than Mike has on his entire face that he's able to grow.
Free Spirit Prepping and News. How cool. It is awesome to hit the 100K mark, and we just hope we continue to keep growing, but we hope we don't lose that feeling that we had in the very beginning. And that's kind of why we changed things up this year. We wanted to return to what really kind of made us special and focus on the things that we really think we bring to the table, not just simply reporting crime, right, Skyeler?
Yeah. I think that was the whole reason we started the channel originally, was to talk about these principles that Mike and his colleagues have, come to master over the years, and let you all know what cops are thinking about when they're doing things. And we've got a lot of great supporters already. I think Tyler has that ready.
Yeah,
Sorry, we
I'll
missed
tell you
that.
what, and thanks to all you
So
folks that
cool.
are coming in on that $1.99 a month level. That is really something to us, and we really appreciate it. And then this last category, we're going to look at the Academy members. That thing is growing like wildfire, and I think you're going to have a lot of fun with it. And again, it's going to be a place where you can fire us an email and say, hey, I'm an Academy member, and I got this question kind of itching at me, and we'll try to answer that in upcoming Academy sessions.
Oh, well, I got one after this. So Sonia is asking, is the Academy on a different channel or is it here? But from what I understand, you need to join the channel in order to see the Academy, correct?
Answer it,
Yes.
Skyler.
Yes. You can join. It's on Profiling Evil. It's just part of the memberships. And you'll, as one of the Academy members, you'll then, once you join the Academy through the memberships, you will then gain access to those videos. Tyler, if you want to type or come on and explain that better, you're welcome to, but that's my understanding.
That's
The change was needed. You sounded like a horrible soap opera. Okay.
wow. Well, that's very
I,
complimentary. Thanks.
I respect it. I respect it, Big Ohio. I absolutely respect that. And we definitely, it was, unfortunately, it was what everyone was doing. And so we started doing it, but we know that we have some really good stuff to offer, and that's what we're doing here. So let's get into questions. So we're only here for about a half hour tonight. So we want to get as many questions answered as we possibly can. I'll read Valerie's in just a sec, just to set the premise for tonight. We'll get as many questions as we possibly can answered. It is not required to super chat for a question to be answered, but if we start getting lots and you really want yours answered, we will prioritize those. So don't feel like you have to, but you're welcome to, and we'll prioritize those questions. So Valerie Byford, excuse me, would like to know, is Laurie Valliere is acting like she's crazy, or do we still have to wait for her family to own up?
Well, I mean, crazy as far as mental illness, we know that she's crazy if that equals mental illness, because the courts have deemed she's mentally incompetent to stand trial at this point. So we're on the 180-day cycle now, where we wait every 6 months. We get her back in front of the judge, and the mental health providers have a chance to say, hey, I think we're getting her there. A great example of these kinds of cases is actually a case going on right now with Travis Reinking, who is the Nashville Waffle House killer, and his claim is going to be not guilty by reason of insanity. And if you didn't catch me on Court TV on Monday during the opening arguments of that criminal case, you might go back and look at that. Plus, we're going to post something on Thursday, I think, during our weekly crime update. But it's a great question, because who knows what's going on inside of that wacky mind. But the thing that we do know is that the court has to buy off on the fact that mental health providers got her to the next stage. Could you imagine what Chad Daybell's thinking right now? I mean, he's still a year out from the trial that the two of them are set to be having, but he's got to be scratching his head wondering what game this thing is playing out.
Yeah. Well, so we got a few YouTube members coming in. That's fantastic.
Hey,
Thank
thanks,
you all so
Leslie.
much. Yeah, we got Leslie, we got Counselor Eva. Thank you so
Counselor,
much.
thank you.
And Ruth Chidley. So
Ruth,
fantastic. Thank you guys. Welcome to, I guess that's the Academy right now. Welcome to the Academy. Isn't the members?
No, I think is that Academy?
I have no idea.
I'm
Tyler,
looking in the back
yes.
office to
No.
see if we got any kind of
Well, regardless,
new
welcome.
members. Thanks. It's awesome.
Welcome. Why is it hard for people to talk about bad cops? Not all cops are bad, but when they don't turn in those bad cops, we have incidents of police abuse.
Yeah, that's great. So, Big E, Ohio, I want to just sit down with you and have a Diet Dr. Pepper one day. This is a tough question, but nobody hates dirty cops more than good cops. And there have been some abuses, and sadly, there are a ton of cops being hammered because of those abuses of a few. And it's really got my ire up lately. The actress in New York that started ranting on TikTok a few days ago about the New York City police officers that were being put to rest for protecting the family, and they're going after them and calling them killers and complaining because she was inconvenienced. Unacceptable. The 16-year-old gangbanger that shoots a police officer, and his new rap recording contract gives him the money that he needs for bail. I just don't get it. But anyway, I'll get off my soapbox, Biggie. Thanks.
All right, let's see here. Do you think mental health is becoming a bit too much these days? Not sure what that one means.
I'm not sure either. I think a lot of people are looking at it as a defense to avoid responsibility. Again,
Mm.
Travis Reinking, nobody could argue that this guy is crazy. I mean, on one event, he showed up in a woman's pink dress, packing his AR-15. He another time he went to the White House and went through the barricades to get arrested, screaming that he was a sovereign citizen and needed to talk to then President Trump. Another time he shows up, and he must like the color pink, Skyeler, because he shows up in a pink house coat at the local swimming pool and starts exposing himself. And then he shows up at the Waffle House at 3 o'clock in the morning with nothing on but a waist high green jacket and an AR-15. And he executes 4 people and shoots another 4 and creates all this mayhem. I mean, people are his defense attorney said right out of the gate, we're going after not guilty by reason of insanity. We're not even going to argue that he killed all these people. We're not going to argue that he was there. And I'm just praying that the prosecution gets across the point that he sat out in the parking lot and loaded a magazine while he watched people inside that restaurant, that he went in and he killed those people, that after he killed those people, he ran away and hid for 35 hours till police hunted him down and captured him. And if that doesn't show some thought that I understand that something is against the law, but I chose to do it anyway, that one does. Man, I'm spending a little time on soapboxes tonight, aren't I?
No, we're getting him out of the way early, though. Margaret Hutchins, Mike, have you profiled the mind of a school shooter? There was one this afternoon in Richfield, Minnesota, at a school for kids with special needs. I don't even know about that.
Yeah, Margaret, I have spent a lot of time looking at the dynamics of this type of mass shooter. And if you look back on some of our videos with Mark Safrick, retired FBI, who wrote a book on mass murder and spree killings, we talk a lot about these dynamics. And isn't it something that at least in the course of all of those, law enforcement figured out when these things happen, you go in and you solve the problem. You don't slow down. You go in and you take these people and you get the situation resolved. So there's a lot we're learning, but yeah, a lot of frustration too.
Yeah. Do you know much about that school shooting?
Haven't read a thing about it. So yeah, we're going to have to look into that one.
Read into it. Dan Nixon, I have a woman serial killer you need to talk about. Elizabeth Wetlaufer out of Ontario, Canada. Her trial was in my town. Interesting. Yeah, send it to the evidence room. The link to that is down below. You can submit all those cases down there for us to look into and talk about. The more information you put there, the better.
Yeah.
What game is Chad playing? How long did Laurie know him?
Man, hasn't that been interesting to watch Pryor in the last 2 weeks? I just blew my mind when Pryor walks in. This is Chad Daybell's attorney, folks. Pryor walks into the judge and says, "Hey, I need more time so I can file an appeal to have this case thrown out." The judge said, "No, we'll keep moving along."
Oh.
And the case isn't set for a year from now still. But yeah, Chad, I'm sure his head is spinning though as he's thinking, "Why didn't I think the crazy card?" Because certainly somebody else did. But
yeah. So talks to animals. Oh, thanks for the super chat. Sorry, I wasn't even paying attention.
Thank you,
Mike, can you reach out to Annie Elise at 10 to Life regarding the Brianna Nix case? Huh.
Well, sure. I mean, we speak with Annie on a regular basis. We just think the world of her. and love what she's doing. We'll try to learn a little more, but send us something more detailed.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Ardrick. When the time is right, can you tell me how to upgrade to the academy? I can't find where to click. I mean,
We'll put
maybe
the link in. We'll put the link in below. But isn't it just back office? If you can write a note and get that posted up, it should be just going into the join section and changing, shouldn't it?
I thought so. I'm not
So
well enough versed in that.
we're gonna hopefully get you an answer here before we.
It's in the description below, everybody. The academy link is in the description below. So check that out. If that doesn't work, maybe we'll create a YouTube short on how to do that or
Yeah.
something that we can put out.
Hey, and Skyeler, I need to kind of say one thing. I mean, I use the word crazy. Committing crime in my book is crazy. Mental illness is a completely different thing. And there's no question that people would have to be crazy, like ranking would have to be crazy to go and think killing 4 people is a good idea. That doesn't mean that he isn't truly mentally ill. And we need to keep those things in mind as we talk through those things.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Maui Swift.
Good to see you, Maui Swift. Thank you. Yeah, we were thrilled to reach that.
Yeah, we got there for sure. So, Million Miles, did you see the videos of Barry Morphy that were presented at court?
Well, I've seen that they've started releasing more of that information, and we'll continue to see more. It'll be interesting. This thing is really, I'm thinking, taking some interesting turns because there is so much distraction going on, so much noise, which is really disturbing to a lot of people, but it's not unnormal in these kinds of cases. That the defense is creating a lot of noise. A lot of stuff is questions that absolutely deserve answers on, like some of the discovery information, the DNA. There'll be an explanation on that in court, folks. And think about DNA, kind of like saying, if you watched my short this week, saying someone is a partial DNA hit, it's kind of like saying, yeah, they live somewhere in Arizona or in the United States. It just means that there is a long string of relations and possibilities. And if any of you have ever done genealogy, you find pretty quickly that you're related to a whole batch of people if you go back a few years. So
yeah, and those of you asking about the academy, if you'll notice, Tyler in the back put it in the chat, the link for it, so you can just click that and it should get you right where you need to go. So what do you think about this new judge at the Morphew case, Mr. Mike King? Do you think Barry will walk?
These criminal cases are so hard to judge, and you look at some of these that have gone on. I mean, look at the case on Arbery this week, where they went in and said to the judge, we have a plea negotiation on 2 of these offenders. And in something that doesn't happen very often, if not rarely, the judge says, I'm not going to accept that. So who knows where this case can go? That's why we do criminal cases and why we fight them. I think it's great having a new judge. I don't know Judge Murphy. I don't know Judge Lamb, but what I'm seeing is Judge Lamb releasing evidence that Murphy wouldn't before, that the public deserves to see. And so I think it's great that we're starting to see some of this information come out, and we'll see how this thing unfolds.
Yeah. So Louisiana Girl, thank you so much for the
Thank you,
$5 donation or super chat, whatever they're called. What do you think about the big deal the defense is making about Linda Stanley violating the order? Asked with the utmost respect and love.
I really appreciate that. And there have been a lot of you who have wondered, a few of you who have fired some rounds over the bow in regard to this. I don't look at it as anything more than noise. Keep in mind that the judge slapped the DA on the hand and said, hey, when we said we don't want you talking to the media or anyone else, we don't want you talking to anyone else. But there were no sanctions. There was nothing that happened out of that other than I'm disappointed. I can't think of how many times when Skyeler was growing up and making decisions, I went in and said, I'm really disappointed about this. Didn't change anything, didn't change the momentum. And so I think we need to keep in mind when, for instance, when we had Linda on our channel, I was thrilled that the DA came on to explain circumstantial evidence because people don't understand it. And it was a beautiful forum for her to be able to describe circumstantial evidence. Now, there were some things that bothered the court. Talking on a YouTube channel called Profiling Evil bothered the court because they felt like that was a name that just indicated that then somebody must be evil if they're on here. Well, that would really be sad because of all the good cops and stuff we talk about on here. But to me, it's a lot of noise, but it's noise that we have to listen to. We internally sat down and said, what could we have done better? How could we have handled things better? But I don't think it's going to impact the case.
Yeah. And yeah, Maui Swift wants to know if Linda Stanley actually broke a court order.
I don't know if that's true or not. And that's why I say I think there's a lot of noise around this. And I don't know how substantial the actual order of who to talk to or what. And did it have limitations like you will not talk to the press? Well, could you imagine a lawyer on something that's public that the papers are reporting about, that they're allowing the public in the courtroom to not be able to say this happened in the courtroom? And that's, if I remember right, what Linda covered on the show is what happened in the courtroom. There were a couple of questions that people asked where she said, we're not going to go there. So I don't know the answer to that question because I've never seen the order. So
Deborah, thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member.
Yeah, thank you.
And Becky, that's great. Thank you both. So let's see, where are we at? We are
it's not where are we at, it's where are we.
Prepositions can end a sentence. It's new. Michael Lyon, what about the Prince Andrew case?
Well, boy, that decision by the court in New York certainly impacted the prince as far as his positioning in British government. And it's going to be really interesting to see what happens as this thing unfolds and it continues to roll out. If any of you get a chance, go back and listen to our podcast when we talked about Epstein and Maxwell and the relationships surrounding them, because we cover a lot of that in there.
So, if Barry walks, can he be retried?
So no, if he's found not guilty, it's over. But if you remember, the DA did mention that there's still, and we're seeing this happen again in a number of cases. Right now, we're seeing it happen with the George Floyd case, with the death of George Floyd and the police officers. Police officers are being tried at the state level and then at the national level and facing federal sanctions. So there's probably still one more round if the feds were to decide to step in, but I don't know the answer to that.
Really just like prepositions at the end of a sentence.
Thank you, LA.
Well, that's where we're at, okay?
Do not accept it ever.
You need crime talk on your channel. Scott got insights on criminal law.
Well, Rose, go back and watch. We're really close with Scott. And in fact, we have appeared on Scott's show. He's appeared on ours. And I think the world of him, and nothing a cop likes more than to debate with a defense attorney. So it's a lot of fun. And I just have absolutely nothing for respect for Scott.
Nothing but respect.
What did I say?
You said nothing for respect.
Oh, nothing but respect.
Yeah, two different sayings completely.
So Scott, if you're watching, I want you to put a note in here. But I am extremely envious of his plane, so that part does get to me a little bit.
And also talking about appearing, Valerie, thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. And also, in regards to appearing on things, Mike will be on Court TV after this, so make sure you guys hop over to Court TV and check him out on Court TV tonight. And if you don't have Court TV, don't fret, because you can check out the Court TV recap.
You can actually go to Court TV Live on the web, and you can watch it live. So,
Do you have to
6
pay for
o'clock
that?
Pacific. There you go. Do I have a link?
Do you have to pay for that?
Oh, no. Nope.
No,
You can
there
just
you go.
win. So
6 o'clock Pacific, you said?
6 Pacific. Yeah.
Okay, so in about an hour and a half, check him out there. Great. Follow me as preposition. All right, Tim, you're fired for popping that up. All right, let's see here. I'm a little bit further behind now.
Hey, I also want to just kind of mention the case of Harmony Montgomery, and there have been some new pieces of information that have come out that I've found that they're tightening the period of time when they disappeared. They were actually evicted from their house, it sounds like, right before Thanksgiving, but they're saying now the window when Harmony would have disappeared is about the 28th of November through about the 10th of December. So they're starting to narrow that down. But they're also sharing some other kinds of interesting things to me. I saw just a few minutes before the show a tweet that came across that Harmony's mother says she believes that the child is still alive, and so I'll just read what people think in the box below. Talks to Animals. Thank you so much.
Dr.
That is
Pepper Fun.
awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
And
Thanks
thank
to
you to our friends at Dr. Pepper. I mean, they just have been so great to work with.
Can you please get some black profiling women's V-neck t-shirts soon? Sure, Tyler, can we do that in the shop? Is that an option? I think we can. We'll get that figured out. Southern Sass.
Thumbs up, Southern Sass. And I have a new t-shirt that nobody agrees with yet, but maybe in 2 weeks when we do another live, we could put that up back office and just show people and get a vote if they like it or not. My No Evil shirt. So
yep, we'll check it out.
All right.
We'll have a limited drop. We'll do like 50 total of those, and then they're gone forever. Okay.
And I gotta say, I got a nice text from the sheriff down in Moab after my 60-second short that I did on Brian Laundrie being excluded on the witness list. And so that was nice to hear from him. We have investigated homicides together in the past, and it was great to hear from Sheriff White.
So thanks, Donna, for becoming a YouTube member. That's awesome.
Donna, thanks.
My present heaviest voting. Voting now. What? All right. Anyway, so we got just a couple minutes left, everybody. We appreciate everyone hanging out with us for a half hour or so. We'll continue to take as many questions as come in the next few seconds. Mike, why don't you
we're trying
30 second.
I'm going to go longer.
I'm still talking.
Really
Hold on. 30-second elevator pitch of the Profiling Evil Academy, and I'm talking like we're going floor 1 to 4. Okay.
All right. Hey, folks, the Profiling Evil Academy, I am really excited about. It is a part of the channel memberships. It's $4.99 a month, but with that, you get we're doing a couple of series during the year. We're going to be talking about criminal profiling, fantasy versus reality, nature versus nurture, id, ego, super ego, the difference in crime scenes, victimology, victim risk continuum, suspectology, and arson profiles in this first segment. And then later in the year, we're going to jump into a new segment. We're going to have opportunities to do lives. You can fire questions over and say you're an Academy member, and we'll try to get those answered into the discussions when we hold them. I am just really excited about this because this is the kind of thing that will help you as you look at every criminal case, regardless of what the case is. You'll be able to look at it with a different set of glasses.
Perfect. All right. Well, sorry, Mike, I cut you off on something else. We'll let questions roll in for another 2 or 3 minutes while you kind of wrap up some of the thoughts you had, and then we'll answer whatever's out there and we'll call it a night.
That's great. Folks, we really have changed things, if you've noticed, and we wanted to give you more of time. I'm really a fan of TED Talks, and so I really like the idea when you come on, if you'll just start firing questions, we'll start talking back and forth. And you know what? If once in a while we go a little longer because the subjects are heated or heavy or important to you, we'll try to do that. But we're really trying to make it so that this is something you want to be on, and it's going to last just a short amount of time, and you can get back to things that you're doing in your life other than watching YouTube. So
Perfect. Great question. How long will the classes last?
you know what? Each of them are different. And the thing that's really cool is, again, like I said, there will be a short lecture section. Then there will be a list of things that you can go in and research on your own. So bottom line is, I'm going to just talk about a profiling principle, for instance, for it might be 5 minutes, it might be 25 minutes. And we'll then give you some ideas of places to go and explore and learn a little more about that. And then we'll look for the chance to get together and talk and go through some of these things. So we're really excited about it.
And how much is the Academy?
$4.99 a month, $4.99 for that channel membership. And folks, if you just can't do that, we have a supporter level at $1.99. It really helps us in putting this stuff on and paying for all of the software and taking care of all of this. And it's just deeply appreciated. But for those of you who cannot afford it, please don't worry and don't fret and don't feel guilty, because we're going to continue doing all this stuff. And if you find opportunities to help us through Patreon or PayPal or other kinds of things, it's appreciated, but it certainly isn't necessary. And I find it kind of interesting. Sometimes people complain because YouTube channels make some money. Well, all of this stuff takes some effort and time. So it doesn't bother me that some of that comes back. But the cool part is we've been able to use it to help other people. So
Background in a class like that will probably eliminate our ability to be selected for a jury.
you can just play like that's going to happen. But I've walked in and sat on the jury after saying to them, I spent a career in law enforcement. I was trained in profiling. I believe that police make good judgment in most cases, and I've still sat on juries. So,
and with the Academy, everybody, those of you that can't get in it right now, we do have plans to, once one session of the Academy is over, to release it several months later to those, to everybody. I missed a question. Sorry. Oh, and Renee, thanks for becoming a member.
Hey, thanks, Renee. And somebody was wanting to know if you call me Dad after hours.
Nope, just Mike. I watched The Simpsons growing up and learned from Bart. So
don't believe him.
It's Homer in this house. Let's see, Tammy Lawson, where do you go to get info on a case to bring to you to look into? Where do we go personally?
No. I think she's wondering where they would go to send a case to us.
Down below, there's a link to what's called our evidence room. It's profilingevil.com/evidence room. And that's where you can enter all the information. There's a form there that you can fill out.
And I gotta just shout out to Counselor Eve, because I think she's from Scotland, and that's where my roots are Scotland. So from Edinburgh. In fact, if you know where St. Cuthbert's church is, Eva, our great-great-grandfather built the bell in that church. So there you go. Hi.
Pretty cool. I do not know the answer to this question. If you're already a member, we just pay the difference to become a channel member.
Let's put the monkey on the back of the back office, and we will
you upgrade your membership, I'm being told. So there's an option to upgrade your membership.
There you go. Go to the supporter page and upgrade your membership. That would be awesome.
Okay. Yeah. There we go. Homer. If Suzanne is found in another state/jurisdiction, does that make it federal?
Well, it certainly could once you cross state lines. And that would be interesting. All in New Zealand. I was at New Zealand.
Very interesting. Well, awesome. Well, this was a fun night. I thought it went well. You guys had some awesome questions, and we have videos coming out weekly. We have a crime recap. We have court TV type recap podcasts, right? Make sure you're following us for the podcast. All the links to anything you'll ever need are below as well. Make sure you look in the description.
Yeah. Hey, and I want to shout out our friends over at Adventures with Purpose. I've probably been on 20 phone calls in the last 20 days with Jared and his team. And I'm just so proud of them for what they're accomplishing there. And we just appreciate the chance that we have to provide them some insight on some of these cases. So that's kind of one of the cool things I think we do too, is we get to work with other creators and add some thoughts and feelings and hopefully work together from time to time. Hey, Jen, thank you so much.
Well, awesome, Mike. I'll leave you with the last word. So we're, it looks like the questions have kind of dried up, and we'll let you all save your questions for the next one.
Yeah, hope you're enjoying it. Hope you're watching Colts Among Us every other week, and catch us for the lives. And we really appreciate all of you. We appreciate your friendship, your support, and it's just a blast to get on and talk. And we hope you like the new format. So from all of us, thanks. We'll see you soon at the next crime scene.